In this session, we're going to focus on distributed key-value pairs, which are a popular way of representing and organizing large quantities of data in practice. And in Spark, we call these distributed key-value pairs pair RDDs. If we think back to the functional programming and Scala courses, when we were focusing only on sequential Scala and the basics of functional programming, we didn't work with any data types called key-value pairs, though we did work with a collection type called a map. And if you recall, maps are essentially collections of keys and values, so while we didn't call a map a key-value pair, conceptually it's the same thing. And this concept goes by other names in other languages, such as associative arrays or dictionaries in languages like JavaScript or Python. Though if you think back to the single machine scenario, even though most languages have something like a map or a dictionary as a core data structure, maps, dictionaries, etc. maybe weren't the most often reached for data structure on the shelf of data structures that you had to choose from when you were doing these programming exercises in the earlier functional programming courses. You might have used other data structures like lists or even arrays more often than you might have reached for something like a map. However, in the world of large-scale data processing and distributed computing, the opposite is actually true. It's actually more common to operate on data in the form of key-value pairs than anything else. In fact, when Google designed MapReduce, focusing on all data as key-value pairs was a key design decision based on real use cases involving large amounts of data at Google. In fact, the original designers of MapReduce even explained their rationale surrounding their focus on key-value pairs very clearly in their original research paper which presented MapReduce to the world back in 2004. They said here, "We realized that most of our computations involved applying a map operation to each logical record in our input in order to compute a set of intermediate key-value pairs, and then applying a reduce operation to all of the values that shared the same key in order to combine the derived data appropriately." Or said another way, computations that they were already doing at Google always ended up producing key-value pairs, so they focused the design of MapReduce around this common pattern for manipulating large amounts of data.